The Warrior still fighting, and Thronbone the outside. Thronbone moved up, takes the lead, looking for 3 on the bounce, wants to lug in but will win. Thronbone has won it from River. Thanks Manhattan Thunder, Black Max and Bel Air. Boogie Dancer, 100 metres to go is clear. And Boogie Dancer for Jamie Carr. She's a good filly, this one. Boogie Dancer won it from Berkeley. T-Waters a neck, a half, no effort, then Ruber. T-Waters coming clear, and this is going to be 3 for Williams. T-Waters won it well. Second, Head Bobber, Royal.
Welcome back to the channel for the Moonee Valley Racing preview. Now, before I start the introduction, I just wanted to say that on Friday night, I'm going to do my first live video, doing Around the Country episode, I think it's episode 6 or 7, live, just to talk through the tips and not just give them to you guys. I wanted to actually talk through them this week. So that'll be around probably 7:30, around 8 o'clock, something like that. I don't know exactly what time, but it will be on Friday night that'll be happening. But let's get into the preview for Moonee Valley. I was happy with last weekend. Found 3 winners, which I thought was amazing, considering it was a very, very tough card. Pick 7 was hard enough as it was, but definitely some more winners to be found here at the Valley. And look, it's the first race meeting we've had in a while at the Valley, so hopefully it can be a cracker and we can get some winners. But let's get into the preview and find them. Race 1 at the Valley is a benchmark 100 handicap over the 20-40 metres, and I'm with Dagula for Patrick Payne and Billy Egan. This horse has had 10 starts for 6 wins and a third. Loves soft ground, enjoys this distance range. Only running it over it twice when he was at Caulfield 2 starts prior, winning very comfortably with 54 kilos, beating He's a Shocker. That horse came out and won at Flemington, at where this horse had its last start. It was very brave and running fourth, gave it everything he had. Billy Egan gets on well with the horse, having 5 rides on him for the 3 wins. Look, I think this horse is going to be very hard to beat. The one I think is over the odds in this short, small field is Mr. Pickwick. He's got a very light weight, considering last start he carried 57 kilos, now drops to 53 with Theo Nugent aboard. He's had 1 start at the Valley for the win where he went forward, and with the gate he's drawn, he can do that again. And on soft ground, he's had 7 starts for the 4 wins and a third. And I think he's the main danger to Dagula, and I've got them both in my strategy. Not Usually Glorious, I'm happy to take on at the price. Does get Damien Oliver on, has won its pass through, has been consistent in this campaign, or, well, at the back end of it. Will handle the distance and the ground, and has been to the track once before for an unplaced effort. But I'm happy to take him on at the quote. I think it's too short. And Mohican Heights has a good third up record for Bo Mertens, but Dagula and Mr. Pickwick for mine for Paddy Payne in the first. Race number 2 at Moonee Valley is a Colts and Geldings handicap over the 955 metres for the 2-year-olds, and I'm with Keysborough here for Craig Williams and the Hawks team. Now, this horse is the grandson of a Black Caviar, and having that bloodline in your breeding set tells me that this horse is going to run a really good race on debut. Drawn well to go forward from barrier 3. Craig Williams is on fire at the moment, and at $5 I really do think it's over the odds, because I think it's going to run a really, really good race. It's got breeding behind him, Exceed and Excel, I'm Invincible, grandson of Black Caviar. You know, it all looks to be a win to mine. Alpha One, I was happy to take on at the price. I mean, he's probably the form horse of this field, and does get Damien Lane on, but he's got to carry considerable top weight. He is 2 from 2 on soft ground, 1 from 1 at the distance, and does bring down Sydney form, so getting away from the Melbourne form. But yeah, happy to take on the price. Epic Center comes back gelded. I do think she's over the odds at well, $10 now, but she's never seen soft ground, so that was the one query. And Mogulus, that $81, you're not going to see a better $81 chance to run, I think, third, because I think this horse can fill a placing. He's got 53 kilos after the claim for Josh Richards. That easily puts him as the lightest weighted horse in this field. Loves this distance, enjoys soft ground. Shouldn't be $81. But all that said, race 2 is going to be won by Keysborough $12 the win. Black Caviar factor in the breeding swayed me. Race number 3 at Moonee Valley is a fillies handicap over the 955 metres for the 2-year-olds, and I'm with Written Swoosh. This horse has only had one start for the second in the Group 3 Blue Diamond Prelude for the Blue Diamond Preview, not the Prelude, for the fillies, and ran second to Miss Rosianna over the 1,000 metres, and so already has a Group 3 placing. That's better than the rest of this field because, Bistro's had a couple of chances, Varvia the same thing, and Tanto over the $17. But Written Swoosh just, I think, comes into this with a bit of class. Dan Moron, he's a very, very good jockey, 56.5 kilos, key market support already. I think it's going to win. Bistro for second. One of the two Godolphin runners in the race, and Jamie Carr decides to ride this horse. Never seen soft ground, so that's the reason I wanted to take it on. But is drawn for an economical run in Gate 4. And Varvia for Damien Oliver. Again, never experienced soft ground, though. Is the probably better form horse of the two of them, but I just think Bistro is slightly a better horse. But Varvia, market respects it and likes it, and it's got D. Oliver on, so you can never underestimate the Blue Jackets. And Tanto over the odds at $17, because I think it's going to run a really good race. But I'm with Written Swoosh, 45 the win in the third, my best bet at Moonee Valley. Race number 4 of Flemington is a Super Overs 3-year-old handicap for over the 20-40 metres for the stayers here. And I think that Matthew, the favourite, is very, very short at $5.50. I mean, looking at the form, I thought that, he would be my top selection, but I found a couple that I think can beat him, and I think that one of them... Well, look, I think Paddy Payne's going to win the race, but I think the more experienced stayer is going to win it, and that's Rock Up. Billy Egan rides for Paddy Payne here. He would have had the choice to ride both horses. He's chosen to ride Rock Up. Does have the wide barrier, though it's in the staying races at Moonee Valley, that really doesn't matter. Comes back from the Mahogany Challenge Final of the 2,500 metres, where, he was a little bit disappointing, but that was his first go at 2,500 metres, so I'm not going to read into that. Last time he was at 2,000 metres was at Flemington, and he got held up and burst through, run a very good second to Texas T, who was off and gone. Goes up only half a kilo from last start, but does draw 9 gates wider. And I think it can still win. Freedom Escape, I think he's going to run a big race here, considering last start ran at Flemington and ran second to the Philosopher, who was paying a big money that day. He was paying like 90 to 1, and now he's only paying 6 for and gets D-Lane in the cell, so that's a good horse. Matthew, I think, is a tad unders. I think tad unders for mine. I mean, definitely is a winning chance, but is a tad unders with 55.5 kilos. Yes, good for a stay over this distance, but it's got to prove himself from going from 1,700 at Warrnambool, from a win at Ballarat, heavy 1,600. He did win it by 5 lengths, but that might just be hype in that price. But he's got to do it at City Grade for mine, but is a good chance. And Far Flung over the is a good chance at 8.54. For Daniel Moore with 55 kilos, but I'm going to Rock Up, race 4, Moonee Valley. Race number 5 at the Valley is a benchmark 78 handicap over the 2,500 metres, and I'm with Raja. Jamie Carr rides this horse for Lindsay Smith, and the last time they combined, which was their first ride Jamie Carr's first ride for the stable was on this horse last start at Sandown, where it absolutely bolted in, and I think he can repeat the dose here despite the wide gate. Look, this horse is just better than the rest of these, and I think he's going to bolt in here. Mimi's Award cost itself the race 2 starts ago, and last start, bridged probably too far in the Flemington Cup, and back to this distance range does suit of racing from the Flemington Cup at 2,800 metres. Farrago comes through much weaker grade than this, though. Then again, last weekend was 3rd at Caulfield. Weeks back up, Craig Williams aboard, good chance. Lord Boozeron, he's a South Australian coming over to test the Victorian waters, and he's on the week back up as well after running a really gallant race last weekend. I actually backed him, and I thought he was going to win, but he ran second. And at $15, they could entertain him blowing these over, but like I said, 25 to win, Roger. Looks a safe bet to me. Race number 6 at Moonee Valley is a fillies and mares benchmark 78 handicap over the 1600 metres, and I'm with American Angel here for Damien Lane. Surprised Jamie Carr's not riding this horse, though she doesn't have a mount in this race. So that does actually surprise me a little bit. Oh well. Damien Lane's riding it. Mr. Place once at the distance, one side of the track for an absolutely dominant win. Loves soft ground. Third up, 2 starts for 2 placings, and I think he can go one better and pay 3 starts for a win and 2 seconds. I think this horse is one of the better bets of the day and one of the better bets of this race, because look, it's favourite, yes, but you get a senior jockey, Damien Lane, you get a good horse. Disappointing last start at 1400 metres, but now it does step up to the 1600 metres. First time of its proper race, and I'm expecting this horse to just simply win. I'm very keen on his chances. Pitching on for second run, a very, very good race last start behind It's True, nearly beating that horse, but It's True was just too strong over the 1600 metres and run a really good race. Craig Williams, bull 54 kilos, does drop in weight from last start from carrying 57.5, so good chance. Thalassophile might be racing in Sydney, and It's True. Emergency, not likely to get a run, but if it does, is a good chance, but $9. Well, if it gets a chance, $9 is over the odds, simple as that. But American Angel on top for me. Moonee Valley, race 6, $85 to win, just expecting it to win. Race number 7 at Moonee Valley is a Super Overs 3-year-old handicap over the 1600 metres. Now, in this race, I found it very, very hard to split Jimmy the Bear and Set the Profit. I've gone with Set the Profit and Jimmy the Bear. I'll put on both of my strategies, but I've got Set the Profit on top, considering this horse has had 5 starts for the 3 wins and winning its last 2. Jamie Carr on 54 for the Freedmans. That swayed me in a way. And is a very, very good chance to win this, and I think can be winning. Jimmy the Bear is very, very consistent for Billy Egan and Paddy Payne. The fact that Billy Egan decides to ride Jimmy the Bear over Big Aline is a big giving sign. Drawn 8, so drawn well enough. And this horse is a very, very good horse. And as I said, I found it very hard to split him and Set the Profit. Umgawa can run a place, but I don't think it's a winning chance. And Alcor Dobes had his chance last start at Flemington. In my opinion, it was disappointing, but I'm with Set the Profit and Jimmy the Bear. 60 the win on Set the Profit and 45 the win on Jimmy the Bear. Like I said, found it very hard to split these two, but leaning slightly towards Set the Profit in race 7, Moonee Valley. Race number 8 at Moonee Valley is a benchmark 100 handicap over the 1600 metres, and I'm with Chief L. Tony, one of the lightest weighted horses in this field. Well, he's the lightest weighted horse in this field, ever so consistent. Will price to ride. What do you say? I mean, he just wins, surely, doesn't he? I mean, he loves soft ground, he loves this distance, he loves the track. 2 placings from 2 starts. He's got a light weight. He drops in weight from his last start, which was at 1400 metres. Of the listed winter stakes, we ran 3rd in Sydney. First time going the opposite way. Race fitness, he should be very, very comfortably winning this race, and just should be too strong for them. Tavernans for second does get Jamie Carr and does have a good third up record and is good on soft ground. And is the obvious stage, and they're the only 2 winning chances. If we're being honest, Smoke and Romans, they're not going to go forward from the gate. They're going to go back. He's got a bigger spring ahead of him, and too close to Song. If you found his best form, his WA form for Lindsay Smith, he would be a big chance in this, and does enjoy soft ground. And second up's very, very key. He's got a good record second up, but I'd want to see him do it before I would be diving in. I mean, I wouldn't be not having to dive in at the price. I mean, $21, but still, I want to see him do it first. But I'm with Chief L. Tony, race 8, Moonee Valley, 35 to win. Another very good chance to win. Race number 9 at Flemington, the bench is a benchmark 7A handicap over the 1200 metres for the get-out. And stand by. Hello, broadcasters on top here for Enver Yusufovich and Logan McNeil. And at $9.50, I think this horse is over the odds, considering that this is only a benchmark 70, and he won a benchmark 70 last start by 1.75 lengths over the 1200 metres, and that's exactly what this is. Enjoys soft tracks, 5 starts for the 1 win and a second, 3 starts at the distance of the 1200 metres for the 2 wins, and he just has to get around Moonee Valley. He's a go-forward horse anyway, and I think from the gate he can settle close. I don't think he'll lead, but he gets it all close, and I think he can come off their backstay and charge over the top and beat them all. And I just bloody hope that this time Matty Hill and Clint Hutchinson have got something on it, because I think that their horse is a brilliant chance of winning the last here. Home Rule for second, I think he's a vulnerable favourite. I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be $5. I don't think it should be favourite. He's a bit short for mine. I couldn't back him personally. And that's why I put him as a vulnerable favourite. Who say over the odds at $26, but the question is, how well is he going? And I probably don't have a right to say he's over the odds when he hasn't even placed in 5 starts. So, yeah, just not a winning chance for mine, and probably won't even finish in the placings, but you got to fill the first horse somehow. And Sold the Car, the same thing. Going well, but is over the odds, and I think will finish top 3, but it's got a pretty good horse to beat here in Hello Broadcast. And I've got 25 to win Hello Broadcast in race 9, Moonee Valley in the Get Out. Thank you very much for watching the preview of the Valley. Like I said, I'm very keen on a couple of the horses here, and I think a lot of them are going to be very, very hard to beat. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you for my live preview of Around the Country for episode 5, going through all the racing action for the weekend. And I hope it's going to be a cracker. My first live video, so I hope everything goes well. But thank you again for watching the preview.